You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by J.K. Nelson Law, voted best of Pahrump for 4 years. Give them a call, 775-727-9900. News 25 is also brought to you by Gunny's Air Conditioning and Heating. New, service, and repair. Call Gunny's, 775-727-6800.
Hello and welcome to this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for joining us on Ace Country Radio, and we're also streaming at KPVM.TV. We're also on your Roku devices. It is Thursday, April 23rd. In our top story, a man reported to be in the middle of robbing a property here in Pahrump of a man who recently passed away. That capture and arrest is recorded now by Christy Willis.
On Tuesday, April 21st, at approximately 3:20 p.m., dispatch received a report of a residential burglary in the area of Mesquite Avenue. When deputies arrived, they made contact with two individuals walking away from a yellow trailer on the property. Authorities say the male suspect was carrying a suitcase as well as two paintings. The reporting party told deputies the owner of the property had passed away. According to authorities, the suspects were later identified as Tremel Foster and Ginny Johns. After being read their Miranda rights, Foster told deputies he did not own the property, but he knew it was in foreclosure. He stated that he and Johns had submitted an offer on the property earlier in the month, but had not yet heard back whether or not it had been accepted. Foster reportedly told deputies they'd went onto the property to look for salvageable items, saying the property appeared to have already been rummaged through, and they wanted to see if anything had been left behind. Johns also stated she knew the property was in foreclosure and that they had submitted an offer but had not heard back yet. She told deputies they had went to the property to see if there was anything of value left for the decedent's family that they might want returned. However, when asked what they planned to do with the items, Johns reportedly said that they were going to place them in a pile at the front of the property. Authorities say Johns admitted to entering the yellow trailer on the east side of the property to look for valuables. The reporting party told deputies that she saw Foster enter the RV on the east side of the property and Johns entered the trailer next to the fence. During a search of a vehicle at the scene, which was registered to Johns, detectives say they found a clear plastic bag containing a white crystalline substance inside a purse. The substance later tested presumptive positive for 20.51 grams of methamphetamine. Detectives also located a pill bottle containing 41 diazepam pills prescribed to someone else. According to the report, Johns admitted the methamphetamine belonged to her and said that she'd used methamphetamine earlier in the day. Due to all the circumstances and the statements given by the suspects, Foster was charged with 1 count of felony residential burglary, first offense. Johns was charged with 1 count of felony residential burglary, first offense, 1 count of possession of a Scheduled 1 controlled substance, and 1 count of possession of a Scheduled 3 controlled substance.
News 25 continues coverage now of this political year, and as a tribute to those who are running locally, we're reporting on those running for Nye County Commissioner, District 5, and District Attorney. However, tonight we're focusing on the debate for County Clerk.
On Monday, April 20th at the Pahrump Nugget, debates were held, and one of the debates were for the race for Nye County Clerk. Candidates Kayla Ball, Andrew Cacciavelli, and current Nye County Clerk Corey Friedhoff were there, and this is where they stood on the issues.
I started off my career at the DA's office. I've been there for 14 years, graduated from Pahrump Valley High School. I started out in the Nye Community Youth Works program through the coalition as volunteer as an office assistant in the DA's office, and as soon as the position opened, I was hired. Throughout the last 14 years, I've worked every single support staff position in the DA's office. I was even interim office administrator at one point.
My name is Andrew Cacciavelli, and I am the Nye County Clerk candidate extraordinaire. And I'll tell you what, started my life in New York City. I graduated from one of the most prestigious criminal justice schools in the world, John Jay College of Criminal Justice, in 1990. Furthermore, for the last 24 years in a row, we have had poor leadership in the clerk's office. Why? Because we have not gotten voter ID. We don't know if the machines are hacked. I don't know. I don't have authorization to go into the clerk's office and do an audit.
My name is Corey Friedel. I am the United County Clerk. The only thing I want to say is the last 22 years have been bad. They're not. At any time, anybody can come into the offices and check the machines. We have had election upon election. I have been there now for 8 elections. Every election, we have opened our office. Come in and look at the ballots. Come in and look at the machines. There is no cheating. And the fact that somebody can stand up here and say that makes me want to throw up. Other than that, I'm pretty proud. I've been in Nye County now for going on 14 years. Been with the county for 12 years. Been in the clerk's office for 7.
Then came time for questions from voters. Via a moderator, voter ID and voter fraud was front and center.
A voter ID requirement question will be on the ballot this year. Would you support a statewide voter ID requirement? Why or why not? You have 2 minutes.
Yes, I would definitely support it.
Supporting something and actually doing something are 2 different things. If Cisco Aguiar tells you what to do, what are you going to say? Yes, you have to comply, right?
So anything that the Secretary of State comes down and decides, that's what your job is to implement it by them. So if you don't like the decisions that are being made by the Secretary of State, vote in a new Secretary of State.
Would you support open primaries, or do you think Nevada should maintain its closed primaries?
Oh, absolutely not. Primaries should remain closed. It's the way it's always been. It's worked. There's not a problem with that. The problem is the voter ID and the mail-in ballots. They have to be closed down.
As Nye County Clerk, the only thing that I can say is that it should be a non-biased position. You're here to support all voters, regardless of their party, and encourage them to vote and be involved in the process. But when it comes to maintaining the primaries as closed, I would support them as staying closed.
A couple quick things I do want to say is the office has a ton of experience, none of it with elections. I am the only one still left that has any elections experience aside at the polls. And we are not the worst state for voting. We are number 2 in the best states for voting that just came out in the Washington Post, so maybe check that out.
Do you think voter fraud is a widespread issue in Nevada? Why or why not?
No, I don't. I think maybe some people tried, but especially with this top-down system right now, we have our voter rolls so tight that the minute somebody goes to Clark County, our system knows.
We need somebody to attack this problem right now. We don't need office managers. Don't care if you don't like my personality. I'm not here for approval. I'm not here for, the rubber stamp. I'm here, right now, to solve the problem of fraud. It's been going not only here, we're not special, it's going on all over the country.
I think it is hard to believe that there is a lack of voter fraud in Nevada, because then why are we advocating for voter ID? Why are we trying to make changes to our election process if we believe that there is absolutely no voter fraud going on?
I still firmly believe that Nye County does not have voter fraud. I really do. I believe that the amount of work that we have put into these voter rolls, yes, it can happen.
Why do we need this voter ID? Because we've seen it. It's the last 5, 6, 7, 8 decades across America. These guys are very good when they cheat. Believe me, I come from New York City. I know cheaters. They're very good at what they do.
It's the clerk's responsibility to distribute that information to the public. It needs to be readily available and accessible. You shouldn't have to work to restore your faith in the election process. That's what our job is as Nye County Clerk, is to provide that to the public. Thank you.
News 25 will be right back with much more local news.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on.
Welcome back to News 25. In more local news, a former North Las Vegas high school administrator is sentenced for crimes including kidnapping. News 25's Jillian Tuck has details.
A former North Las Vegas high school assistant principal has been sentenced to prison following serious charges involving students. Harley Smith appeared in court Tuesday, where a judge sentenced him to 8 to 20 years in prison. Smith, who previously worked at Canyon Springs High School, pled guilty last year to second-degree kidnapping and 2 counts of sexual conduct between a school employee and a student as part of the plea deal with the Clark County District Attorney's Office. In court, prosecutors argued for the maximum sentence, saying Smith abused his position of trust and targeted students. They also stated he removed a 15-year-old from class more than 100 times and manipulated school records to cover it up. Despite pleading guilty, Smith maintained the allegations were false during sentencing, while victim's family described lasting trauma. The judge ordered the kidnapping sentence to run consecutively with the sexual conduct charges, leading to total sentence of 8 to 20 years. Once released, Smith will be under lifetime supervision as a sex offender.
In today's sports news, the 2026 NFL Draft kicks off tonight with the Raiders selecting the #1 overall pick. Mikey Ruhan scores a touchdown now.
Time now for your News 25 look at sports and streaming at KPVM.TV and now on Roku devices. Game 3 between the Vegas Golden Knights and the Utah Mammoth is set for Friday night in Salt Lake City, where the altitude is high, the stakes are higher, and apparently so is everyone's heart rate by the third period. The first round of the 2026 NFL Draft heads to Pittsburgh tonight, and the Las Vegas Raiders are expected to take Fernando Mendoza with the #1 overall pick, because nothing says Vegas gamble like putting your future in the hands of a 21-year-old. Again, down on the diamond, the Las Vegas Aviators got grounded by the Salt Lake Bees 14-3 Wednesday night, a game so rough even the slot machines were like, yeah, maybe take a break. They'll try to bounce back tonight at 7:05. And locally, Pahrump Valley Varsity Softball hosts Slam Nevada on Friday at 3:30. And that's your look at sports on News 25.
Thanks so much, Mikey. And there's a safe way to dispose of your prescription drugs this weekend if you're in the Henderson area and in Nye County, with 2 locations here. Jillian Tuck has more.
National Prescription Drug Take-Back Day is set for Saturday, April 25th from 10 a.m. to 2 p.m. The event gives residents a safe and responsible way to dispose of expired or unused medications. Officials say old prescriptions should not be kept at home or thrown in the trash, and instead should be dropped off at a secure collection site. In Nye County, 2 locations will be available. In Pahrump, residents can visit Smith's Food and Drug, and in Tonopah, collections will take place at Rowley's Supermarket. Participants are asked to look for the designated booth in the parking lot, located to the right of the main entrance. The event is held in partnership with Nye County Community Coalition and the Nye County Sheriff's Office. Officials say safe disposal helps prevent misuse, protects the community, and keeps harmful substances out of the environment. Residents are encouraged to do their part and turn in unused medications this Saturday.
More electrifying news on the other side of this break.
You're watching News 25. Local coverage you can count on. News 25 is brought to you by Mountain West Lawyer, Injury Attorneys, 727-9500.
Welcome back to News 25. While Valley Electric Association sends outage text notifications whenever your location might be affected by an outage. That's to ensure that you're receiving these important notifications and make sure that the main phone number on your account is still active. You can help by logging into Smart Hub or by calling VEA at 775-727-5312 and speaking with a service member.
This segment of News 25 is brought to you by Valley Electric and its family of companies focused on serving our members. We're better together.
Valley Electric offers outage text notifications so you don't have to be left in the dark. Valley Electric is using text notifications to keep you informed of power outages. We'll send updates when there's an outage in your area, when crews have been dispatched, and when your power is restored. Our top priority is to keep you connected. If your power hasn't been restored after the outage, please check your main breaker and reply so we know that your location still requires attention. Getting these updates has never been easier. To ensure that you receive these important notifications, please verify that the primary phone number associated with your electric account is a cell phone number. Additionally, outage notifications may take up to half an hour to be sent after the outage begins. During this time, please continue to report outages as it can help find the cause and the location of the issue. Please be aware that Valley Electric will never use the outage phone number for marketing purposes or payment requests. With Valley Electric's outage text notifications, you'll always be just a message away from the latest updates, keeping you informed every step of the way.
News 25 WeatherCam is brought to you by Lerner and Rowe Injury Attorney's Office in Pahrump. In a wreck, need a check? Call 702-877-1500.
Let's take a look through our Lerner and Rowe weather cam at this hummingbird just outside of our station. And would you believe this is slow motion? That's how fast they are and how fast the weather changes. We'll take a closer look after this break.
Weather is sponsored by the Nevada Dairy Farmers and the Dairy Council of Nevada, sharing the love of all things dairy. Celebrate the best moments with milk. Milk the moment. And the weather is also brought to you by the Ponderosa Dairy, Nevada's largest dairy, fresh from our farm to your table.
Let's take a look now at our weather conditions here in Pahrump and Las Vegas and throughout the Silver State. Death Valley's high today, 85. Las Vegas tops out at a comfortable 77 along with Amargosa. Beatty's high, 74. Goldfield, 62. Tonopah tops out at a chilly 59 degrees. Carson City's high today, 65. And the near weather twins of Fallon and Fernley top out in the mid-60s as well. And here in Pahrump, it is currently a warm and comfortable 73 degrees. Our high was only 75 today with winds out of the west-northwest at 8 miles per hour. Humidity was low at 10%. Sunrise was exactly 6 a.m. And tonight, we can expect lows to dip down into the upper 40s with winds out of the east at 6 miles per hour. Humidity increases to 17%. Sunset will be at 7:24 p.m. And looking ahead to our 7-day forecast, tomorrow we'll have highs breezing near upper 70s and more wind blows in over the weekend, dropping those temps down to the low 70s and even upper 60s on Sunday. The beginning of our work week warms back up a few degrees to the low 70s, and by next Tuesday we'll be in the upper 70s, and this time next week we'll reach the 80 mark again. So it'll be comfortable out there, but bring a jacket overnight just in case. Well, that does it for this edition of News 25. I'm Unette Gentry. Thanks for tuning in. Good night.